Milu, the Hawaiian God of the Dead. This is a deity who comes to us from obviously Hawaiian and Polynesian mythology. He is the lord of the underworld. His dominions are the underworld, death, spirits, and the afterlife. His symbols being shadows, caverns, and dark oceans. His sacred animals being the owl and the bat, so creatures of the night. His sacred site is the pit of Milu, which is the entrance to the underworld. And his cultural sources come from Hawaiian oral traditions and Polynesian mythology. Now, he is described as being a very shadowy, foreboding figure, symbolizing the darkness and mystery of the Hawaiian underworld. His appearance has varied in local interpretations, but he is always described as having this otherworldly spectral presence. He is associated with darkness, embodying both power and fear. Now, mythology tells us that he was once a very powerful chief who had great influence, but through acts of dishonor and cruelty, he was cast into the underworld. Once he became a part of the underworld, he became the ruler, and he is known as the Lord of Lua-o-Milu. He oversees the dead and maintains the balance of life and death. And unlike Western concepts of hell, this underworld is not necessarily a place of punishment. It is simply a shadowy realm where the spirits are free to dwell and exist. Now, having dominion over this realm gives him a whole host of amazing powers. The first being, of course, necromancy. He has control over the spirits of the dead and can summon, control, and manipulate them at will. He can raise shadowy forms of the deceased, either as spectral warriors to fight on his behalf or as messengers between him and the living. He's capable of binding wandering spirits to objects or places, preventing them from ever moving forward to reaching their final resting place. He can communicate with both the living and the dead on all levels. He can appear to mortals in dreams or visions, offering cryptic warnings about their fate or insights into their destiny. He has shadow manipulation, and he can wield shadows as a true weapon, using them to obscure vision, create illusions, or immobilize his enemies. This shadowy form he can take allows him to phase through physical barriers or to blend into darkness, making him impossible to detect. He has a connection with the elements of nature. His connection to Hawaii specifically gives him a connection to the volcanic landscape, granting him control over lava and fire, which he can summon to defend his domain or to punish intruders. He can also summon earthquakes or oceanic waves to protect the entrance of his kingdom. He also has the ability to extract souls from living bodies. He carries that noose, which is exactly that. So when it's your time, he's going to snatch you up out of there. His very presence inspires fear and awe, powerful enough that it works on both mortals and other spirits. His aura alone can paralyze some and force others to completely submit to him. That's how significant the force of his will is. Now, he's not actively worshipped like the other deities are, and that's very common for gods of the underworld. But his role as guardian of the underworld does play a significant cultural importance. So there are ceremonies and offerings that are made honoring the spirits to help maintain a balance between the realms of the living and the realms of the dead. And he is associated because of this with ancestral spirits, which underscores Hawaiians' cultural belief in honoring their ancestors and the cyclical nature of life and death. This figure holds a major cultural influence over these people. He reflects kind of the core of what their mythology is. He is the god of the underworld, ruling over the spirits of the dead. His domain in their beliefs is the afterlife, a shadowy, mirrory version of this world. If you have more that you want to add to this piece about this powerful deity, please do so in the comment section. And as always, I ask that you hit that like and subscribe.